We are living in a strange time. People wake up with their phones and go to bed with their phones. They scroll through TikTok all night, then cry silently in the dark because they don't know what they're living for. Everyone is online, yet so many are slowly dying inside. Losing direction is no longer a personal matter. It has become an invisible epidemic. You once had dreams, you once had desires, you were once very capable. But now, you just want to lie still, shut out from the world. You feel like you can't do anything anymore. And then you conclude, I'm weak, I'm useless, I lack motivation. But no, you are not lacking motivation. You are simply disconnected from your own soul. In a world that's in turmoil, discipline is no longer about striving for success. It is the last thread that connects you to the deepest part of yourself. It is the only bridge that keeps you from drowning in the flood of information, pressure, and distorted expectations. Today's world worships busyness. We are pushed to become a better version of ourselves, faster, more efficient, more productive. But in all the things you've learned, read, and tried to follow, has anyone ever told you this? Discipline is not to make you great, but to keep you in touch with your own soul. Not everyone is born to be easily understood. Some souls are designed to hear signals the rest of the world has missed. This video is about the Zodiac signs that are not easily understood. They live in this world, but their minds are often somewhere else. They hear the inner voice, loud and clear, yet they must exist in a society that's too noisy. Capricorn, seemingly the most steady, yet suffers the deepest when losing the internal signal. Aquarius, ahead of its time, yet easily cut off from itself within a chaotic system. Sagittarius, a free spirit yet weary when the inner flame is extinguished by meaningless things. Pisces, a heart attuned to every frequency of the universe, yet fragile when it no longer hears its soul's true voice. If you are one of these signs, and lately you felt tired, breathless, empty, drained, then it's not that you're collapsing, you are being called back to a deeper layer of life, back to the original frequency, back to the higher self. That's waiting for you to send the signal again. If you've ever felt like a device that has lost its signal, a spiritual body no longer able to receive, then maybe you're missing a regular ritual to keep the connection with your higher self. And that is why you're here, Aquarius. If you feel like you've just been called by name, don't leave. This is the video you need to hear until the very end. There was a man living in a modern city surrounded by lights, appointments, and things considered reasonable success. No one looked at him and thought he was lost. Yet every morning, and upon waking, he would sit for a long time on the edge of his bed, his eyes fixed on the emptiness, as if waiting for something to appear, but it never came. He couldn't name that feeling. It wasn't sadness, not exactly emptiness either. It was just nothing. As if his soul had moved out long ago, leaving behind a shell that could smile, could answer emails, could pay bills, but no longer knew who it was. People might call it loss of motivation, mild depression, or a midlife crisis. But to him, it felt like he was broadcasting a distress signal, and no one was listening. Until one bleak morning, when nothing could make him want to get out of bed, he suddenly remembered something his mother once said. If you ever feel lost, write your name into the wind. You don't need to shout, just do it regularly. He didn't understand, but that day, with nothing left to lose, he used his finger to write 3 words on the dusty surface of the table. I am here. When he finished writing, he blew the dust away, then silently went to work. He expected nothing, didn't even hope it would help. But the next morning, he wrote it again, and the morning after that. Gradually, writing those 3 words became a strange ritual. No one knew, no one saw, but he felt he was no longer completely invisible. After a few weeks, he realized the fatigue inside him no longer lasted as long as before. The meaningless things that once made him tense and reactive no longer affected him as much. He didn't become great, he simply became present. One morning, after writing I'm Here, he burst into tears. Not out of sadness, but because, for the first time in so long, he truly believed that someone was reading what he wrote. Not someone out there, but a part of himself, a presence on a deeper level of consciousness. Still watching, just waiting for him to be still enough, steady enough, real enough to connect again. From then on, he called it coding, a kind of vibrational code, a secret signal sent out, not to be answered, but to avoid losing the connection. And so, each time he wrote on sand, on wind, on a table, on his own consciousness, it was another way of saying to his soul, I'm still here, don't leave me behind. We often think discipline is a tool to control behavior, to achieve goals, to get more done in a world that's always busy. But if you listen long enough, deep enough, you'll begin to realize discipline is not merely an act of willpower, it's a signal being transmitted from a soul longing to come home. It is a gentle voice, but one that echoes, I'm ready to show up for myself. And here's the truth that surprises many. You don't need to do anything grand to begin the journey of awakening. A small action, when repeated with presence, can open a great doorway. Discipline, at its deepest level, is a ritual of self-love. It's not external pressure, it's a secret appointment with your higher self, who's been watching you from afar. If you've ever felt disappointed for not being consistent, stop blaming yourself. It's not that you're weak. Perhaps you just haven't realized this yet. What you've been seeking is not a result, but a rhythm to return to your soul. You may think discipline means doing it every day on time without deviation, but the truth isn't that harsh. The most refined form of discipline is when you choose to be fully present in the very act you're performing. You meditate, not because you have to meditate, but because it's your way of sending a signal. I'm listening to my soul. You write, not to have a finished piece, but because every word is a code you're engraving onto the timeline, like writing an SOS into the sand. No one sees it, but the universe always acknowledges it. And the astonishing part is, the things you consider small are the very foundation of unlocking higher consciousness. A sip of water, and for the first time you taste life itself. A deep inhale, a gentle touch to your heart before sleep. Each of those actions, when done with awareness, is no longer ordinary. It becomes a ritual. And rituals are bridges between the human self and the immortal soul within you. You might be wondering, can just a few small acts really help? But you don't need to do anything grand to change your destiny. You only need to be consistent in the small things and do them right, as if your soul is watching. Carl Jung called it the self, the symbol of wholeness within every human being. To reach the self, we don't need to climb mountains or escape the world. On the contrary, the path to the self is found by returning to daily rhythms, to presence, while washing dishes, walking, cleaning the house. Because only when you are fully present in the ordinary can the self gently open and step in. Like someone writing SOS signals in the sand every morning, not to be rescued, but because it's a ritual that helps him stay connected to himself. You're the same. You don't need to know if anyone will read it. You don't need to expect a response. The act of writing it faithfully is the response. Remember, discipline isn't to impress others, nor is it to turn you into a hyper-productive version of yourself. The deepest purpose of discipline is to ensure you don't abandon your original self in the midst of a noisy world. And once you've gone deep enough, you'll realize discipline is a whisper you send into space each day, telling your higher self, I'm still here, I haven't forgotten. And your soul will hear it, because the soul doesn't need grand celebrations. It only needs a promise kept over time. Without discipline, we get swept away by emotion. We live by impulse, and that very impulsiveness pulls us away from the natural rhythm of our soul. Just as the human heart needs a steady beat to live, so does consciousness need a rhythmic journey to grow. If you feel like you're drifting, don't try to do something spectacular. Just choose one simple act you can repeat each day, like a greeting to your higher soul. And if you ask me, where should I start? The answer is, start where you are, with what you already have, in the most mindful state possible. Turn each repeated action into a ritual, not to prove anything, but to keep yourself from forgetting who you truly are. Picture this. Someone. Every morning, he walks out to a quiet beach. Holding a dry twig in hand, he silently bends down and writes abstract symbols into the sand. No one sees, no one understands. The waves will come and wash it all away within minutes. But tomorrow, he'll return to write again. Not because he expects someone to rescue him, but because the act of writing is how he stays in touch with something greater, deeper, more sacred. It's not a game, it's a ritual. It's how he maintains connection with his higher soul, the part watching him from another dimension. This metaphor isn't imagination, it's the truth, happening every day in the lives of those walking the path of awakening. You may not write codes into sand, but you meditate for 10 minutes each morning. You jot a few lines in your journal while the city still sleeps. You take the first sip of water each day with 2 hands in reverence. And though these acts seem small, mundane, if done with mindfulness, they become ritual. And each ritual, when repeated with sincerity, will open a hidden doorway where your higher soul is already waiting. Discipline is not just action, it is a kind of energy, a source code of life, an inner rhythm that the universe can recognize. When you hold that rhythm, even during the hardest moments, you are not just enduring, you are transmitting. You are sending out the signal, I'm still here, I haven't given up, I'm still trying to live right, little by little, and you wouldn't believe it. But your higher soul is listening, like a deep-sea diver who can spot a flickering light from the ocean floor. Your soul will respond if you keep the signal steady. Carl Jung once said, "The self doesn't emerge from becoming better, it comes from becoming whole." And that wholeness doesn't arrive when you achieve your goals. It comes when you dare to repeat a small act with full and sacred presence. When you brush your teeth as if it's a ritual older than time. When you press your palms together each morning like welcoming something divine. When you take a deep breath each time you're swept into an emotional tide, just to remember, I am alive, I am here. That ain't robotic, that is the behavior of an awakened human soul. Whether you believe in karma, the law of attraction, or just the quiet ripple of cause and effect, everything we repeat, in thought, in word, in deed, is a seed, gently tucked into the soil of life. And sooner or later, it'll bloom. Now, not everyone sees the flowers bloom right away, but the one who plants always knows. The soil received it, and the right thing will come at the right time. Discipline, it ain't showy. It's the art of sowing in silence. No need for applause, no need for recognition. Because the one who practices knows, I'm not planting for today. I'm planting for a higher part of me to be allowed to step in. And if you've ever felt like you don't quite belong here, then maybe, just maybe, you're one of the souls who is programmed differently. You are Capricorn, the one who always feels you must push harder, carry more, endure better. But truth is, you don't need to prove a damn thing. You just need one small, consistent act to not abandon yourself. Writing the code won't make you great, it just keeps you here. You are Aquarius. You carry the future in your bones, but often feel a little too distant from the present moment. You're not avoiding, you're recalibrating, you're not lazy, you're protecting that original frequency so it don't get washed out by the noise of the system. Your small ritual, that's your charging station. It don't need a reason, it just needs rhythm. You are Sagittarius, you've roamed far, touched many horizons. But now, you ain't trying to run anymore. You've paused because something inside you's asking, where am I headed? Is the fire I'm tending still the right one? You're not lost, you're recalibrating the compass. And that one line you write each day, that's the red thread, leading you back to the light within. You are Pisces, you might look delicate, but your spirit holds a sensory field that reaches beyond this layer of life. You're not tired because you're weak, you're tired because you're tuning into frequencies most folks can't even hear. When you go quiet, it ain't distance, it's you listening for the real signal from somewhere deep within. Writing the code, it ain't for someone else to read, it's to whisper back to the Neptune in you, I'm still transmitting. Please, don't leave me behind. You didn't come here to blend in. You came to keep your frequency alive, even when no one understands, no one sees, no one answers. And the self, the whole, ancient version of you, is still out there, quietly listening to every one of those signals you keep sending. There'll be times you feel tired, plain tired. When the little things you keep doing, a few quiet minutes of meditation, sipping water in stillness, scribbling just a line or two in your journal, start to feel kind of meaningless. But in those very moments, I want you to remember something. The small things ain't ever truly small. Every act you repeat is a signal, and every signal is a promise whispered to your own soul. You walk long enough, your footprints turn into a path, and when you're no longer lost, that higher soul, it starts drawing near, closer than ever before. Discipline, it ain't no chain, it's a melody. One your soul used to hum a long, long time ago. And each day you live with awareness is like a note being played again, calling you back, calling the deeper part of you back home. Now listen here, you don't need to be better. You don't need to be great. You don't need anyone clapping for you. You just need to return to the rhythm of your soul. And if today you're feeling a little worn thin, just remember this. The one who writes code in the sand each morning ain't waiting to be rescued. They just believe someone out there is listening. Maybe this video, maybe this moment right here is the reply you've been waiting for, from a deeper place, from a quieter layer, from yourself, the one that's just been waiting on you to keep the rhythm long enough to reconnect. So if you made it this far, let me ask you something. That one thing you repeat each day, the one you keep showing up for, who's it a signal to? Leave a comment as a message to your soul. Tap follow if you need more of these guiding codes to keep you steady on the road. And hey, don't forget, you are still in your soul appointment. The door's still open, the signal's still sending, and your frequency is still being heard.